You are being lied to every time you check Bitcoin's price. It's not showing you the truth. It's not telling you where things are heading. And if you keep trusting it, you might be missing the biggest wealth shift of our generation. In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly how the price is manipulated and why this doesn't reflect real value, and what the whales and institutions already know but don't want you to figure out. Stick around until the end because the final part will shift how you see Bitcoin forever, and you'll never trust the number on your screen the same way again. Cool, let's start with part 1. Price doesn't mean value. Let's start here. Price is what you pay and value is what you get. The current price of Bitcoin is determined by short-term trading and not by its long-term potential. Look at bots trading 24/7, emotional retail investors, whales manipulating order books, and derivatives and leverage distorting true demand. Just because Bitcoin is sitting, let's say, around $100,000 doesn't mean that that's what it's worth. It simply means that where buyers and sellers are meeting right now. But here's the key. Value isn't always visible in price, especially during accumulation phases, market suppression, or macro uncertainty. Now let's have a deeper look into how market manipulation potentially works. Ever noticed how Bitcoin suddenly crashes after positive news or pumps when everyone is bearish? That's not coincidence, it's the result of manipulation, especially on low volume weekends or during Asia-US handovers. Here is how whales and institutions can manipulate price. Spoofing, placing huge fake orders to move market sentiment. Another method is stop loss hunting, driving prices down to liquidate leverage longs, or media timings, leaking huge headlines right before major moves. Remember the 2021 China ban? It crashed the price, and right after that, institutions bought the dip. The price dropped, but the adoption and hash rate kept growing. Price light, but smart money saw through it. Okay, let's talk about ETFs and the illusion of supply. Now, we are in a new era. Bitcoin's ETFs are here. Millions are being poured in daily. But here's the twist. When you bought Bitcoin through an ETF like BlackRock or Fidelity, you don't hold the asset. They do. And that Bitcoin gets taken off exchanges and into cold storage, often forever. So while the visible supply on exchanges is dropping, the price can still stay flat or even go down, because that ETF demand isn't reflected in traditional spot markets. That's why people say, why isn't the price going up if ETFs are buying? The answer is simple. The system isn't showing you the full picture. Again, the price is lying. Let's move on and talk about global macro versus Bitcoin signal. Zoom out. Inflation is up, debt is exploding, and currencies are losing trust. In that kind of world, you would be expecting Bitcoin, a fixed supply, decentralized, apolitical asset, to be skyrocketing, right? So why isn't it? Because the macro world is full of short-term uncertainty. Fed rate decisions, tariffs, recession fears, geopolitical conflicts, all of this creates noise, and traders dump or rotate to assets to play it safe. But underneath, adoption is growing, wallets are increasing, and supply is shrinking. It's like watching a beach during a storm. The surface is messy, but the tide is still coming in. Look, don't mistake short-term volatility for long-term weakness. Now, Bitcoin's real signal is hidden. And here is what really matters. Long-term holders are at record highs. Exchange supply is at 5-year lows. Countries, companies, and billionaires are accumulating quietly. And you are starting at a red candle thinking, maybe I missed it. That's exactly what the system wants you to think. Bitcoin is designed to reward patience, not panic. So if you zoom out 4 years, 8 years, the price tells a very different story. 2009, $0. 2013, $100. 2017, $1,000. 2021, $20,000. 2025, Well, that depends on how much you're paying attention to value, not just price. So here is what I think. Bitcoin's price is lying to you every day because price reflects emotion, manipulation, and short-term games. Value reflects scarcity, adoption, network strength, and conviction. If you want to build real wealth, stop obsessing over hourly charts. Zoom out, stack with purpose, and think like the ones who are already rich. And most of all, don't let short-term noise shake your long-term vision.